map migration option that you can use. We didn't talk about migration option here at all because we said we are going to keep it simple. So yes, the answer is yes. You can migrate from any service provider, whether it's an exchange environment or not exchange environment, Google, Yahoo, and the likes. Yes. So somebody said again to explain the difference between Microsoft 365 and distribution list. So I will encourage you to go back to the session of yesterday so that you can really listen to it and try to pick some things from there again. But just on a lighter note, right? Microsoft 365 group is actually designed for collaboration. It goes beyond just using it to distribute email, but it's for collaboration. It's for meaning you can use it to share email. You can use it to work on documents. They call it co-author. So a co-author is a situation where you create a Word document, for instance, and you want many people or multiple persons to be editing that document at the same time. So Microsoft 365 Group is going to give you that feature. So that's collaboration. It also gives you access to Teams where you can use it to manage your projects. Like I said yesterday, you can use it to manage your project. And let me just okay, you can use it to manage your project, and you can use it to organize meetings between the members of that group. On the other hand, the email distribution group or the distribution list that you're asking about is actually a tool, let me call it a tool, that is used to distribute or send email to a group of people at the same time. Instead of when you want to send an email to a user, and then the next thing you want to do is start typing the email addresses of every user one at a time. Imagine if you have about 20 users, or you even have an event. Yes, this is a good example. You have a conference that you are planning, and you need to, people have registered. Now you need to send them an email, or you need to send them notification. Instead of you maybe adding the email one after the other, you can actually create a group, add everyone in there, and you only need to select one single email address that already contains everybody. So every single person in that group will automatically get access or get a copy of that email. So another difference between Office 365 group and a distribution list is the fact that a distribution list does not have a mailbox attached to it. It does not have what we call inbox. If you go to your Gmail, you go to your Yahoo, you go to your Outlook account, or even those of you that have started work at all, if you go to your mailbox, you have a folder called inbox. So now, because a distribution list is not a user, so it does not have what they call inbox. It doesn't have a mailbox. That means there's no location where you store the mail, right? So the email you send to a distribution list is dropped directly in the inbox of every single member of that distribution list. While for Microsoft 365 group, there's a mailbox that is attached to it. So it allows people to have access to all the email content in a central location, right? Okay, moving on, I have another question that talk about, says after creating group, when you click email, it says preparing. That's not a group really. That is a user mailbox. That was yesterday. When we created a mailbox, it took a while before it provisioned. I don't know why that happened. That is the beauty of the cloud. It's called agility and speed. Speed and agility. That's one benefit of the cloud, meaning you can do things, or you can perform tasks at the speed of light, depending on what the task is. So when we created the mailbox yesterday, it took some time, some few minutes. By the time I checked, it was around 10:21 that I saw the mailbox was created. But I've also simulated another one today, and it created in less than 1 minute. In fact, that was even group. I created more than one mailbox at a time. So I don't know, maybe it was my internet yesterday or it was something else. But speed and agility is the benefit of the cloud. Now, if you're working in an organization and you're expecting new employees, this is where collaboration comes in. You are not working alone. You have the HR department. HR is in charge of onboarding new employees. They are in charge of employment. So they know a user, they know when a new user is coming in. And what most organizations HR do, that's human resource team, what they do is to communicate early enough, maybe a week to the new employee coming in. They will have communicated to the IT to provision, to prepare computer, prepare accounts, prepare mailboxes, everything that that new staff is going to be needing. They will have told the IT team to prepare them. So this will reduce the wait time for the new employee when it finally resume work at your organization. So you should always work with your HR team to achieve that speed. Okay. Someone said, and I've actually not taken note of it myself, but the question got me to go and make research. That is the beauty of such program. Certain question will get you thinking. How many of us, or how many users, I believe, can use PowerShell scripts? I believe you are asking how many people, how many concurrent PowerShell, how many person can connect concurrently to PowerShell in Microsoft 365. So the answer is this. To prevent denial of service, what we call denial of service attack or any form of attack, where services, where Office 365 server or Microsoft 365 server will begin to receive requests that might look suspicious. Microsoft limit the number of PowerShell sessions. The number of PowerShell sessions. Now, I'm not sharing my screen yet. I'm just trying to respond to the questions that you asked yesterday. So the number of PowerShell sessions that is permitted by tenants is 5. Maximum of 5 PowerShell sessions. So that means if you have just one PowerShell session open, 4 extra persons, 4 additional persons can also launch or connect to the tenant, either Azure AD, Exchange, and the rest. They can also connect to it. So that means a total of 5 persons at a time. But now, that is on the tenant level. Now, if it's a user, there can be situation or time where you need to launch multiple PowerShell sessions, even as a user on your computer right now. I can decide to connect now, open one PowerShell session to maybe Exchange Online. I'm running a command. I don't want something to cover that command up. I want to do something else. I can launch another one. So you as a user, you are allowed to open 3 PowerShell sessions maximum. But on the tenant level, is 5 sessions maximum. So that is why Microsoft recommends that once you are done doing anything with your PowerShell session that you have launched or connected to any Microsoft 365 service, you should always remove the session so that you can free up that session for any other activities or users that need to connect like that. But peradventure, you just finish and you close your PowerShell application on your computer without ending the session that you have initiated or created. Microsoft will give you about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, that session is going to time out, right? That session is going to time out. So that's it with regards to PowerShell session. Sorry, someone is saying something. Let me see what. If I can't share my screen, I'm just explaining. I will share my screen in a short while. Be patient. So now somebody said assign an individual mailboxes be reassigned to another person in an organization, e.g. an employee is sacked by the organization for this. Yes, that is where I think I said a lot about that yesterday with regards to you getting a part-time job or whether a full job in an organization, and you are taking over from somebody who just left the organization. So they have to reassign the mailbox. They have to reassign the license to you. Then the mailbox of the person, they can do it can be in two ways. They can either convert it to a shared mailbox and give you access to it, or they change or add additional email address, which is yours, to that mailbox so that you just continue with that mailbox instead of them creating a fresh mailbox for you. But in most cases, it is a thing of they convert it to mailbox and share mailbox and give you that is new to take over that mailbox access to the shared mailbox. Now, distribution list, somebody asked, but I think I've explained that a while ago. Then somebody asked, in a scenario when mailbox is full and you delete unwanted mail from the inbox and outbox, it still shows full and no sign of deletion. What can you do? Yes, most time it takes time before you get updates to the deleted to the mailbox that is full. Now, when a mailbox becomes full and you are unable to receive or send email from that mailbox any longer, when you say you delete content of the inbox, remember that as you delete, except you permanently delete. If you do not permanently delete, that deleted email content you are doing is actually going into the deleted item folder. So there are additional steps you can take. You have to go into the deleted item folder to delete those emails. But then, even when you empty your recycle bin or your deleted item folder, the mails are still not gone. Like I said, I don't want to take it advanced. This is now going advanced level. The mails are still within your within your mailbox, but it is in a folder called recoverable folder, right? So if you want to permanently get rid of those items, you need to go and purge that recoverable item folder. You need to purge it. That means you need to permanently delete it. And once you do that, anything that is purged can no longer be retrieved, can no longer be recovered. That is what that means. So there might be time where you have done that and you still cannot see the new size or the actual size of the mailbox. Now it might be updated. So most time you want to go in such instance, you either want to go to Exchange. You can do a few things on the Outlook. It might be either Outlook that is delaying. You can do what we call indexing. Once indexing is complete, it will show you the size. But if that still did not happen, you can check from the back end, that's from the Exchange Admin Center, and confirm, or even run PowerShell to check the actual size of that mailbox and confirm that things are actually showing the way they ought to show. And finally, before we go, before we continue today, is somebody asked a question about somebody said last week you were talking about domain and you were told it will be continued this week. So I'm just going to quickly, I'm sharing my screen right now. Now, I know even Emmanuel have talked a bit about domain. He spoke about domain in the last week's sessions, right? Or last weekend. Now, a domain, if we want to explain it in a very simple way, right, for you to understand, is let's relate it to family, right? Now, in your family, I will use my family. My family name is Bello, right? Now, in the Bello's family, you notice something. Every single you have the mother, the father, then the children. Now, every single child, including the mother, they are all bearing the name of the husband, right? So you have your individual name, but you and your brothers now or sisters, you have whatever name you have, user Bello, user 2 Bello, user 3 Bello. So you have it like that, Titi Bello, maybe Rachel Bello. Let me just put it like that. Now there is something that is common to every member of the family there. That is the Bello. That's the surname, right? That surname is unique to you, is unique to the family. But your name is now something that help people to differentiate. Oh, this is this person. This is this person. But they all know that you are one. You are same from the same family, right? So look at an organization that, or they have a name. Let's say, for instance, an organization is called, let's say, Tech Hub, or even the Microsoft. Let's use Microsoft 365. Microsoft 365, M365 Nigeria Community is the name of the community, right? Now, for us to be known, and anybody, when we send out email, anybody seeing that email will easily and quickly recognize that that email is coming from Nigeria M365. So in this case, right, we have um, we have we have our domain that is being given to us. So now the same thing, organization will now say, instead of everybody in the organization to have their own different email, maybe some people using tt@outlook.com, something at gmail.com, like that, or you just decide to even create different name at random. So what the organization will say is, let's have a name that is unique to us, a name that is unique to the company, and that tells people who has that domain or who has that email address. So the same thing. Now in Office 365 or in Microsoft 365, when you create your tenant, recall you have a domain name that is .on Microsoft, a domain name, whatever name you pick. If I've created a domain, it's going to ask, if I created a tenant, it's going to ask me to specify a name. If I put Titi, at the end of the day, by the time you finish creating, what I will be seeing is this, titi.onmicrosoft.com. So now I'm seeing titi.onmicrosoft.com. This is now my own domain. Whatever name, whatever thing I put is a prefix that is attached to the Microsoft top level domain that they have given to all organizations. Now in Microsoft 365, an organization that want to be able to, they want to brand, they want to be known out there, they want to be unique. Once you see their email, you know it is related to this particular organization. So in that case, you will be introducing what we call custom domain or vanity domain. So you can, sometimes you will hear vanity domain, sometimes you will hear custom domain. So anyone you hear, it means the same thing. Vanity or custom, it means you are bringing your own unique domain name your business name, you are bringing it into Microsoft 365 environment. When we go back into the tenant, I'm going to show you. So now, a domain is like your company's unique address, unique surname. Yeah, that's it. Your company's surname that is now known on the internet. That is how people is able to identify you or your company. So instead of using the generic one like, Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, live.com, and the rest, you want something that is unique, that everybody can carry as their last name within the organization. So it's more organized and help you to kind of give you a professional look out there. So if you in Nigeria today, there's government organizations that want to do any business with the government. They don't allow email or accept email that is coming from at gmail.com, at live.com, at Outlook. They want to receive email from you at your own business domain, right? So it gives you that kind of promotes your company's name and the brand. Yes, company's name and the brand, and give you a professional look. To allow people or give people that a kind of to trust your business right from your email domain, right? And it's also easy to manage compared to when you have to manage different email address suffixes. This anything that come after the @ sign is called suffix. So instead of you managing multiple types, so you just manage just one, techworld.com. Everybody carries that. So I just wanted to, uh, quickly talk about that. Now, let me minimize this. Let's go. Let me share this URL with you. Thank God that Rafiah, was able to tell us a few things before we started with regards to the emails of the plans that I showed to us yesterday, right? I can't chat to sugar. All right, no problem. So I will share it later, or we'll share it. So now, if you look at this screen, right, you will notice there are more than 10 plans of Microsoft 365 in here. The Exchange Online plans that I showed you yesterday, those are called standalone plans. So just like you have standalone plan, and why will somebody want to do a standalone? So let's say an organization that want to move to Microsoft 365, they are moving gradually. The first thing they want to move is just email. They don't want anything else. So in that case, you'll be going for the standalone Exchange Online plans. That's where you will have option to choose between plan 1 or plan 2. But if you are going to be using other services like Teams, OneDrive for Business, whether Windows desktop, and all of these apps that are here, then you will be considering some of these plans, right? You will see the E plans are for enterprise organization. They are for enterprise customers or organization with 250,000, 300 users and above, right? Then you have yes, this E3. You have the security, but we are not talking about that. Then you have this F plan. They are for what is it called? What do they call them now? Frontline workers. Yes, the F plans are for frontline workers. There's also for government. I think it's not on this list. There's government and there's non-profit organization plans as well. But each of them still fall between whether enterprise or the number is what you say. There is A. There's education. Education plan is also available. When you have 3, anything 3 means is the larger number or the enterprise plan of it. So I just say, let me quickly say that as well. I'm going to share with you. Now, let's go back so that we can conclude on this domain before we move on. Look here, if you see here, you will notice that every single user here, they are carrying the name that I've used, dots on Microsoft. If I'm using this to send email to people, not that they won't receive it, they will receive it and they can reply to me as well. But it does not really tell what my business is about. Like I said, Microsoft 365 community, it does not tell what my business is about. So how do I give my email that professional look, right? Is for me to introduce or add my own new domain into the tenant. So now to add your domain, you come again, as you say, you saw that I expanded, like show more, right? To expand. Now you go to settings. Under settings here, you have domains, right? When you go to the domain, and you will be able to add what we call a custom or vanity domain. Now, if I didn't add any other domain, every single user that I create will automatically carry this domain as their email address and as their login, right? So now I want to add my own domain. We'll choose add domain. On this, yeah, I have now. So what about, before we add, what about an organization that they're just starting? They're startup, they're just starting their business. They don't have a domain, they don't have anything, they don't even have any email yet. They're just starting. So in that case, for you to have your own domain that represents your business, then you need to own a domain, you need to purchase a domain. From where? That means you need to decide what should our domain look like once you have a name. Then you go to the likes of GoDaddy. Mine is on Domain King, it's at Domain King. I bought my domain from Domain King. I have a domain here called chaville.com.ng. So you go there and search if that domain is available. Go to register domain here or search domain. If the domain is available, search for it. And if it's available, then you can purchase it. So for instance, if I come here right now and I just type, it is able to load very quickly, almost there. So I can type, I type Chaville to tell me, chaville.com for instance, and I click search. So what it's going to do is to tell us the different types, the available domains, whether .com, .net, .org, .gov. It will just give you different options. See what I have here. I have this, I have net, I have, I only pick .com, but .com is not available right now. Now, what I will just do, if I've been able to see that my domain is available, I'll just pick it and buy it. And once you buy it finished, you need this. This is your domain registrar. You have registered domain with this registrar. You must register your domain with the registrar. Anything you want, any domain you want to use, that must be reachable or queried on the internet. So now, apart from the domain registrar hosting the domain for you, you need the DNS hosting. That's a public DNS server that can host all your records. That's where, okay, so all your records for the domain. So for instance, if you want people to be able to reach you, like your website, right? Every website starts with www.chaville.com.ng, right? For people to be able to reach www.chaville.com.ng, I need to host it on a public DNS that can respond to people on the internet. So in that case, I can either use the same registrar if they have that service, or I take it somewhere else. So in this case, I took mine to Cloudflare. Cloudflare give you access to free domain DNS hosting. So I have my domain DNS hosting here, and here you can click the domain and you go into the DNS management aspect of it, and you can be able to add your records. So when I mean record, let me go. This is DNS. I'm just going to go to DNS records. Okay. While that is loading, I'll go back to Office 365 or Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So here now, I'm going to add that domain, travel.net. travel.com.ng, right? And then I'll say use this domain. So once you add the domain, Microsoft is going to check the domain. Now for you to prove, or for them to prove that you are the owner of this domain and it's not for somebody else, you will need to take some extra step. An extra step, they need you, that's Microsoft need you to go and add a record at your public DNS host. So you can pick to add a text record, or you can choose to add what we call a message exchange record. That's MX record. So text record is the simplest one or easier one that will not conflict with anything. So what we just do is to go with text record. So now I'm just going to, let me add the text record. Okay. And create DNS at your registrar. I'm not sure. So this first option is like, it's going to ask you to sign in. Once you sign in, then it will go and add those records for you. That's Microsoft will go there and add the record for you. It's working with what we call Domain Connect or Registrar Connect. So, but we won't use that. Let's use the manual, add a text. Oh, sorry. Let's use this. So we have this different option, but let's go with this text record. I'll click continue so that I can generate my text records for me. Oh, yes, it has even seen. See what happened? It's using Registrar Connect to check. Now, Microsoft can actually go to Cloudflare to help me add those DNS records. But for you to see what is being done, we will do it manually. So let's see the step here, step-by-step guide if you want, but we won't do that. So now we'll go to, I have my domain registrar, sorry, DNS. And here, I'm just going to copy this text record. This at signify your domain, is the root, your domain root, your root domain. So you don't need to add anything in front. Why this is the value, the record that we're looking for, and then this is how long this will take to propagate on the internet. When I mean propagate, once you add it, this DNS server needs to inform every other DNS server on the internet that you are the owner of this domain and you have this particular record. If anybody is calling for it, then it should point them here, right? So here I'm going to create a new DNS record, a new text record. So you click here, add record, and we'll select the record type that we want to add. It's a text record. Text record is the same as TXT record. So TXT, select it. Now, use at for the root. So there can be sometimes you might have name. Maybe you want to pick email.chavi.com.ng. In that case, you put email here. But I just want to reference this root. So I'm just going to put the at, right? The at sign. Now, this is content. This content is representing the value. The value here, which is this, you copy everything as it is. Don't leave anything out. Otherwise, it will not validate. So put our content here. Then TTL, we can leave it as auto or we can set it. Now, 3600 seconds is that 1 hour. That's 1 hour. So we can either leave it as auto or we set it, you know. So we leave it like that as auto to automatically generate it. We don't need this. Then you can click save. So now I've added this TXT record. Added the records. And the next thing I want to do now, although it will take some time, some minutes, you have to give it some minutes to propagate, right? So I'll just go back to Microsoft 365 domain and then click verify. So once you click verify, Microsoft 365 is going to wherever your DNS is, it has picked it as Cloudflare. It will go there to go and confirm if that TXT record exists there. If it exists there, then it's going to tell you that it exists and we can move forward. So here we have confirmed that you own this domain, but we can't add it to your account because the domain is already added to another Microsoft 365 organization. So this is because I'm currently using this domain somewhere else, right? So now it's telling me to go to that tenant, the other tenant that I have, and go and free the domain from there. And free the domain from there. Before now, maybe I think Microsoft have stopped it. What they allow is you just put you just tell it to take it over, and it will take it over. By once you give that consent, it will take it over. It will automatically remove it from the previous tenant and bring it down here. But this case now is not happening. But I think maybe it's because I have some form of directory sync there. So we'll look at that later. But just this is how to add domain. If it were to go, the next thing it's just going to tell me is to select the services that I want to use it with. Apology about that. I'll have taken this earlier. I thought it was free. So now, yes, I have this. Okay. Yesterday we created a mailbox, and I've also added more mailboxes so that we can move fast, right? So the mailbox we created yesterday, we wanted to check the properties of that particular mailbox in internet here today. Just a moment. Okay. Okay, so going back to mailboxes, and this is the mailbox that we created yesterday. These are the additional ones that I created today. Bruce Willie, I have Will Smith, I have pilot users, and it didn't take time before to provision them rather. So if I go into this one, M365 Mentor, and you can see every property is here, majorly have to do with email. Okay, this is for the signing, the general signing, or you can manage anything email. You can manage what we call delegation. So this is under delegation. This is where you have the send as permission, the full access permission, or send on behalf of permission. We'll talk about that later. Then we have the mailbox settings. So sometimes you want to restrict to start maybe a group in your organization, like all staff group. Don't want everybody to be able to send email to all staff, only key people to be able to send email to it. So you can use what we call delivery restriction to restrict who can send email to and who can receive email, who can send email or who can receive email from to and from this group, right? You want to do things like maybe any email that come into the mailbox of this user, a copy should be forwarded to a group or another user. You can do what we call forwarding, right? Then message size restriction. recall I said earlier that when we're talking about mailbox size, that a single email can be as large as 150 MB. That's 150 megabytes. Right now, this user is allowed to, the value send size is set to 35 MB is what we have here. So this is less, but you can increase it to the max of that 150 MB or megabit per second. Yeah, right. Then, okay, so just want to quickly show you that property. Now, a minute. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, yesterday we wanted to create group. Let's go to groups. We have groups here. I have a few groups here, but we are going to create different groups. I want to add a group. I click add group. And to give the group a name. Okay, come up, come up. Okay, so here we have to select the type of group we want to create, whether it's Microsoft 365, which is the recommended one because of collaboration. If you're going to be using it for collaboration, it's easier. Or is a distribution list, or is a mail-enabled security group, and then, or is dynamic distribution group, right? Again, I think somebody asked a question about, okay, I've explained it. It's distribution group. I've explained it. So now I'll click next, right? And I'm going to give it a name. M365. RG. R group. GRP. That's just group. Give it a description and we'll click next. Now here, you need to select, you need to assign an owner to this group. Owner is the person that can add member to the group, that can remove member from the group, that can manage the group and everything that have to do with this group. It's important that you add it. That's why you notice we don't have option to go next until we have added the owner. So we'll just click assign owner, and we are going to, let's look for Titi. It's somewhere here. Okay, Titi will be the owner of this particular group. Then we can click next. The next thing is to add members to the group. I'm going to add a few members. I'm going to select, let's pick Bruce, let's pick some of our users. App, there's a pilot. Okay, we can pick Will Smith, and we can add pilot user want to use. Click add. Then we click next. Now is to give our group email address. That will be M365 mentorship GRP. And now you need to select, this is privacy. If we configure this group now to be public, it means it's going to be visible to everyone within the organization, right? But if we configure it to be private, people will not see it. Only the people that only the members will see it. But if we make it public, everybody will see it. Even though they can see it, does not mean they can join it. Remember, we have owner that can manage the group. So we are going to keep it as private. Now it's asking, this is where you make a choice whether you want to use this group for Teams communication as well. So if it's for project purpose that you are creating the group for, it's best you create a teams group, a team for it as well. But you can also choose not to create teams for this group. So we'll keep it as default. We'll create team for it. And we'll click next. And this is everything about the group. Click create group. Okay, and the group has been added. We can either create another group, edit the group settings and the rest and the rest. So before we go to other groups, right? Let's go to group settings so that you can see. I said earlier, when you create a group, that's Microsoft 365 group, you have the option to configure that users, the members, should get their email directly in their inbox. If you don't do that, I didn't add. I'm going to add now. If I added Titi as a manager, if as owner, right? The fact that Titi is owner does not mean Titi is also a member. If you notice here, Titi only owns the group. It's not supposed to receive email. But so that we can be able to test it out and test things out, I'm going to add Titi also as a member. So this is where you need to take note. For organization, yes, Rafiah. Rafiah, your hand is up.
Yeah, so sorry for yeah. Hello, ma. Good evening.
Yes,
Can you hear me,
I'm
ma?
with you. Yes, I can hear you. I can
Okay,
hear you.
okay. Please, I just want to make a general announcement. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So, guys, the link for the attendance form has been shared. The link for the attendance form has been shared. You can start, okay, just for the next maybe 1 or 2 minutes. And just like I said before, the link is open for responses from 9 p.m. till 11:59 p.m. today, after which you no longer be able to fill that form. The second link will be shared, the one for the certification, full discounted voucher for those that cannot afford and those that are going to be fully prepared to take the exam. Please, if you know you will not be able to read or you can pay for the exam, don't bother filling that form. I'll share the form, and that second form will be open for responses by 11 p.m. today. 11 p.m. today. So it's two different links now. This one is for the attendance. Before the end of the class, the second link will be shared for the fully discounted certification for the underprivileged persons. So please fill that one. That will be open by 11 p.m. Thank you so much, ma, for your time. Thank you. Yeah, that's all.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so I'm adding Titi as a member as well so that we can really test things out. Right. Um, Save it. Okay, so Titi is now a member. I'll go back to the settings. Now in the settings, let me open my Outlook. I want to sign in as another user. So here I'm going to use, let's use Smith. Hopefully we'll be able to. Okay, while that is going, I wanted to sign in here also. So, okay, so we just go to setting while that is moving. Now, this is the setting for this Microsoft 365 group, right? We have general setting. One of it is to allow external senders to email this group. So right now, only users within the organization can send email to this group. If you need to send, if somebody, a business partner need to send email to this group now, the email will not get delivered. Why? Because the settings does not allow the group to receive email from external recipients. So if I select it, we'll be able to send email, anybody, internal and external will be able to send email to the group. Then the second option says send copies of group conversation and events to group members, which means if I don't select this right now, for people to see the email, where's my Outlook here? Because I don't have a stage license. For people to see the email, for people to see the email, when they go into Outlook, they will have to collapse, expand groups, and then select the particular group and go into the group mailbox directly to see all the emails. But if you select this, it's going to send any email that I send to this group, it will send a copy directly into their inbox as well. Then we can hide the group from what we call address group. If you don't want people in the organization to send email to it, you want to hide it. So they will not know that it exists, except you tell them, right? So there are other things like delivery management, just like you see for a mailbox, and also delegation is also available, just like you see for a mailbox. So I'm going to click save here, and we move on from there. Okay. So the next group we want to create, the next type of group is to create a distribution list so that you can see the difference between the two, right? Now select distribution this time. Recommended best practice now, or Microsoft is recommending to use Microsoft 365 Group. But if the purpose I want to use it for is just email distribution only, to share email with a group of people, then I'll just go for distribution list. And I click next as well. And this will be M365 history 1. Let's call it that. Then click next. And then I'll click owner, add owner as well. ST add TT as owner. Click next. Here we'll add member, the same approach, right? So add here now. Bruce is already part of that other group. I also see add Bruce. How many users do we have here? To pick people before they start receiving email and okay, let's just pick test. Right. I'm right this way. Okay, so I'll click add. So anytime they send email to this group, all these members will receive it directly in their own inbox. So we'll give it a group, M365 DIST1. And communication, allow people the same way, allow people outside of my organization to send email to the group. That's if you want the group to receive external email, but we'll leave it as that. Now, this is group joining option. If you leave it open, anybody will be able to see the group and join the group without approval. They will automatically be accepted. Now, if we click close, it's a closed group. Only the owner or admin can add people to this group or remove people, right? Then if we say owner's approval, it means it's partly open, but the group will not be accepted automatically. The owner must approve the person joining the group or not joining. So that's it. Leaving as well. If it's closed, then people cannot leave. Only the admin or owner can remove people. If it's open, people can leave at will without approval. So we'll leave it at close. That means we'll manually, be adding and removing members from the group as the need arise. So we have created two groups, M365 group and distribution list one. So if we go into the property of this as well, notice in the M365, you have 4 tabs. You have additional tabs here that is called Teams. But here, that tab is missing here. So, but the same thing, if I go to settings, you have different settings for this as well. Under members, you can add members or you can remove members. Okay, so remember we can also add this one to this group from the global address book, and we can give delegation also and enable message approval, membership approval, and all of that. These are a few things that we can do with regard to this distribution group. Before we do distribution group, this is also it's the same thing as this. No mailbox is attached to it. The only difference here is that people can join and exit the group at the same time at will without stress. So we'll leave that. We just go to security group. If I click add again and we'll select mail enabled security group. Remember, security group is a group that is used to give permission to a group of people that need common access or common permission or common rights, right? But now we want to go beyond just using it to give them access to a resource. We want them to also be able to receive email. That is why it is called mail-enabled security group. So we'll click next and we'll give it M365 set GRP. Entity. Next, add member again. Add member, you can add Bruce, you can add you can add Titi. Which Titi am I even picking? Okay. Okay, that's Titi. Click next. Next, and give it email address M365 security GRP. Same thing, require approval, nothing else. Just want to. It's really for internal email communication. Great book. So we have been able to create the three different type of groups: Microsoft 365 group, distribution list, and email enable security group. Let me, I'm coming. Let's go to the other group type that we talked about was resource group, resource mailbox, right? Not group, resource mailbox. So now we have a few printers, or not printer, a few projector that we want to create mailbox for, so that people can book it. Or we have a few training and conference room. Let's use training and conference room. So we have conference room, conference RM. One. So if you have multiple domain, you see this arrow, it will allow you to always drop down and select which domain you want to use for that particular mailbox. So we'll click next, and now we can fill all the information. It's a conference room. It's asking about capacity. How many people can sit, or does the can the conference room take, that we are creating this mailbox for? 20 people. Location is maybe head office, HQ. Let's say HQ. We can say Lagos, head office in Lagos. Then phone number. This phone number can be the phone number of the person who will be managing this particular room. Then department of the person, let's put, no, admin is in charge of this. Let's put admin as admin department. Company name is Chaville, or we call it M365, M365 Nigeria, NG, M365 community. Then address book policy, that is an advanced advanced setting, but we'll leave it as that. So street, where is this your head office in Lagos? Put it. Just put something. Lagos, don't know. Put Nigeria. Then we'll click next. So here, these are other settings, the booking settings. So now this say allow repeating meetings. So which means somebody can create a that's a recurring meeting. That's what this means really. Maybe a meeting that happens every Monday between the hours of 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So once this person book it, it will remain in the calendar. Or once somebody book a recurring meeting for that time, to remain in calendar for as long as the person wants it to remain. Then allow scheduling only during work hours. So if you put this, it means it's going to restrict the booking of that particular conference room. You can only book your appointment within the work hour. If it's 8 to 5, or it's 9 to 6, or 9 to 4, like that, it's going to do that for you. Then booking windows, that's number of days that somebody can book a particular room for, and maximum duration 24 hours. So we have a conference that is going to take maybe a whole day, full day event, then you want to allow them to be able to book. So you can state, maybe if you don't, nobody stay in the office for 24 hours, But you can leave it as that. We just leave it as default, or we take it to, let's say, 9 hours. Then enter automatic reply to be sent to the meeting organizer. This is optional. We leave it as that. Then booking delegates automatically accept or decline meeting requests. So if this booking delegates mean once somebody book in the calendar, you select your calendar, you select the room. So the room will automatically accept it. But if not, if you want to specify somebody, a user, to man the room, then once they book, the user gets notification that someone is booking the conference room. Then you can go and check in case the person, another person have already or booked it, or maybe it's going to be used for something else, or something is happening that day, it's not going to be available. Then the user can, that's the delegate, can then accept it or decline that particular booking, right? Then choose your booking delegate. That's if you have said you are specifying somebody. Pick automatic accept. Then we'll click next, and you can review it and click create. So creating a resource mailbox is as simple as this, right? The creation is in progress. This might take a minute or two or so to complete. While we are waiting for that, let me check. I don't know what is wrong with my own mailbox. Confirm that I have a license. I don't think so. Okay. Wanted to sign in with another user here. Speak pilot user. Okay, so I want to check whether TT have a license to. I have a license, but what's going on? Okay, so the resource mailbox is fully created, and here is our conference room 1 mailbox, right? We can decide to create an equipment or mailbox as well. So this one, projector, Sony projector. Email address, Sony projector, and you see the same process apply. So let's just cancel out. We created something similar. So now the next thing we want to quickly do is this, but that's how, as you can see, how to create the different groups, the resource group, be the resource mailbox, and the likes. What I want us to do now is to quickly create shared mailbox, right? We'll go back to mailbox, and then here, we'll create a shared mailbox. Create a shared mailbox, give it a name. Let's call it, we want the sales team to use this shared mailbox. So let's see sales department or sales team. Better sales team. We'll give it email sales team in case we want to still have sales as an email address within the organization. Earlier is not compulsory, but we'll just copy this and put here as well and say create. Okay, so that has created very fast. Now we can add another one, and then let's just go into the shared mailbox and see what the settings look like. There's our shared mailbox, fresh, and from here, this recipient type, you can see the different mailboxes. This is our shared mailbox. This is how you identify or you know that a mailbox is a shared mailbox. Shared mailbox, like we said again, does not require a license. It does not require a license. Now you notice that there is nothing like username or password set for this mailbox while we're creating it. But for mailbox, we want to create a standard mailbox, we have to first go and create user, then we give it a license and it automatically creates a mailbox for the user. However, there's a user ID that is automatically created for this shared mailbox. What happened to this user ID is that you go to the admin center, you should see it. Yeah, this is sales team. Notice it's a user here. It does not have a license. Let's go to the settings so that you see what happened. This user right now is a shared mailbox. The account is actually disabled. It's disabled by default. So the user cannot sign in into this particular mailbox. So that's why you have to tie it to an account or a user who have a mailbox. So for anybody to log into this particular shared mailbox, that person must have his own primary mailbox. So now the same setting you can see. If we go to organization, we have organization setting. If I click this organization setting, you have the different things there, like the title, the company, and the rest. But let's go to delegation. This is where we'll be able to give right to people to have access to this shared mailbox. So on this shared mailbox, I want to give Smith. Smith is member of sales. Pilot user one is member of sales team as well. So we want to give Smith and pilot user one full access to this mailbox. Oh, sorry. Okay, so pilot user one, and then want to give Smith. Okay, as with Smith, then delegation will confirm. So just preparing that. Let's see the account we're trying to log into. So this guy have logged in. To apps. Why is he freezing? Then here, speak. another user here. So we'll go to Outlook. Outlook. Then I say here, pilot user 1. Smith. Okay, so let's see. Password for Smith or pilot user 1 also. Okay. So this user's mailbox now, with Smith, no email in the mailbox. But if we go here to groups, you will see all the groups it belongs to. So currently, this user is a member of just Microsoft 365 group. That's true. This is Microsoft 365 group. So any group you see here, really, they are Microsoft 365 group you see here. So it's a member of this. This is the only collaboration group that they have. That is a member of. I just want to show us. I think this user also have access to a group. So now, normally, if you send email, notice the email when you create a group and add a member, email goes to them automatically. So if you go back to the inbox, you notice there was an email there. Now this group is here and it's telling you there are files. It has access to file, it has access to email, it has access to file, it has access to calendar, that's to manage events, and then teams, then the members. So just leave it. Same thing here. This is the inbox. So any email, if anybody sends email to this group, it automatically deliver directly in their inbox instead of me going to groups, selecting the group I'm looking for, and be looking for the content inside that group. I can just easily view the content directly in my inbox. So you notice now, for those of us that are still trying to understand what the groups are all about, group really, the number one purpose of group is to distribute content. When you send an information to that group, every member of the group automatically gets a copy of that information. That is the primary purpose of group creation. So let's see where, okay. Now, what I'm going to do next is who did we give permission? May we confirm on the shared mailbox. On the shared mailbox, we gave full access to Pilot and Smith. Now, how can they access the mailbox? How can Smith and Pilot user 1 access this particular mailbox? Is called tasting. You notice, unlike the other group, that is unlike Office 365 group, that you can see here. That one, you won't see it because it's not a group. So now, I want to open that mailbox and do stuff and do things there, maybe send email or check what's the content. So what I need to do, let me expand this so that you can see something. What you need to do to connect to that particular mailbox is you need to go to your picture, your profile picture, click on it, and then you click open another mailbox, right? Open another mailbox. Let's see. Yeah, it's not attached yet. So you just say open another mailbox, and we go in there and we look for the mailbox, which is M365, M365 mentorship. No, sorry, says rather. Says search directory, and this is the sales team. And we click open. So you notice it's open in a new tab. So that means it's not disturbing your own primary mailbox. You still have access to it and can continue to receive your email, your primary mailbox, while you have access to the sales team shared mailbox that we created as well. If your manager have given you delegated access to his mailbox, the same way is how you are going to connect, open a new mailbox, type the name of your manager and check the directory if it didn't bring it out automatically. And then you select and it will open like this for you. So that way you can manage. You notice there's not much difference. This is a standard mailbox, right? Standard mailbox has email, calendar, people, that's contact, groups, you have tags, you have Viva Engage and some other things. Then if it comes to this shared mailbox, you see it also has a few mail, calendar, contacts, and Viva Engage with SharePoint with OneDrive for Business. So it's just like any standard mailbox. The only difference is you cannot connect to it directly. You must have a license to connect to a shared mailbox. Okay. So now I want to do a test email to this guy. That's finally come. So I'm going to send email from my own box, as Titi's box, to some of those groups. We also have a distribution group. The only thing I'm not sure who is a member of that distribution list. So that when we send email, you see what happened or the behavior is what we want to test now. Okay, so before we go there, right, while this is loading, I think it's taking some time. Now recall that this pilot user 1 and the other guy, pilot user 1 and Smith, have full access to this shared mailbox. So which means he can send email. New mail will send mail to, let's say, TT directory, test email from shared mailbox. Testing. So you can copy anybody you want to copy, and you can also blind copy anybody. Now, this CC means carbon copy. Send a carbon copy of this message to any address you put in here, right? If I put Amarachi, Amarachi will receive a copy of that message. If I put, and then Amarachi will know that it's Titi they actually send the email to, or they put him or her in copy. But if I use this is blind carbon copy. Blind carbon copy means blind copy anybody that I put in this category. So I can put the other Ama. I can put this Amadi, right? So Amadi will receive the email and he will know that it was sent to Titi and Amarachi was in copy. But Titi and Amarachi will not know that Amadi also have a copy of this email because it's blind copy. So they will not know that there's somebody else that is in copy of the mail, but they will see this. However, this guy will know that the mail was sent to Titi and then they put in copy Amarachi. So sometimes when you want to share email with some people and you want some other people to be in the loop without somebody knowing, or maybe you just want somebody to be aware of something, then you can put them in the in blind carbon copy. That's BCC. Okay, so I will just send this email. I'm sending it from whose mailbox with Smith to TT. So I click send. See what it says. You do not have permission to send message from this mailbox. You do not have permission to send message from this mailbox. What does that mean? Even when you have been given, let's go back to the portal to exchange, even when you have been given full access, does not give you the permission or the right to send email as this group, right? To send email, sorry, as this mailbox. Remember, we said they send us, and then they send on behalf of. If we put send us, the user, anybody will put here will be able to send email. So now I'm going to put with Smith here. Put with Smith here, and then we'll see if with Smith can then now send Smith. Okay, so with Smith now can send as this mailbox. He can send email as says mailbox. So now if I go, what's going on? Wait. Hold on. So this guy is just, no, there's something here. This guy is just trying to send email. He's not sending us. Hmm. Something is wrong here. This is different. So you don't have permission to send email from this mailbox. It's different, but I will look into it later and check what the problem is. Okay. So because I'm directly in this mailbox, so I should be able to send me out. But we'll see. Let's refresh. It might take some time. Give me some time. So the other thing is, while we're waiting for that, let me go to TT and send an email to this group. I do, what is the name of that our distribution group? Distribution group M365. Okay. If we have M365 district, so just enter this group and click send. Who are the members? If Bruce is one of the member, if you want Bruce, so at least that's to tell you that we have sent email to that group. Pilot user or no, neither pilot user nor Will Smith is a member of that group, and that's the reason why they did not get the email. The different members that are member of the group will automatically get a copy of that email. Okay, but we have also shown how to give permission, how to give send us right to a mailbox and how to give full access to a mailbox. So I'm waiting for the senders to take effect so that we can test, we can see the message that we send, how it appear at the recipient side. So let me quickly give where's the going back to the shared mailbox, or let's go to standard mailbox. The standard mailbox, users that have, let me send on behalf of, I have pilot user 5, right? I'm going into pilot user 5. I want pilot user 5. I want somebody to be able to send on behalf of pilot user 5. I'm going to pick, uh, let's pick pilot user 1. 5 minutes. So while that is while the update is running, see this guy. So I want to check the email that we sent to that distribution group who Bruce is a member. Can you see it? This is the email, test mail delivery. Because he's a member, he's getting this message, right? So that's the way distribution group, any member of that group will automatically get an email. It's different from the Microsoft 365 group that give you access to other things. Okay, so now this said it will take about 5 minutes. Let's see if this guy, where is Bruce? This with Smith. Okay, so this Will Smith has been able to send mail out from the mailbox from the shared mailbox says team. So we are going to check. And we send the mail to Titi. Titi, the mail was a copy was sent to Titi, and I think Amarachi don't have access to Amarachi's mailbox. So Amarachi will get a copy. Then we also copy Amadi. We blind copy Amadi. Amadi will also get a copy. We don't have access to their mailbox, right? So that's simply how to, and you see that is showing that it is who sent the email. It says team. That mailbox, that shared mailbox that sent the email. So let's quickly see what send on behalf of what it looked like. So we have given pilot user 1 access to send on behalf of pilot user 5. Let's see if it has taken effect. Where's pilot user 1? It's with Smith. Bruce Willie. So this is with Smith. Now I want to send email on behalf of pilot user 5, right? Let me expand it. Now for me to send us or send on behalf of, I'll have to change. I have to change. The sorry, can someone help me? I'm looking for. Okay, yeah. So now by default, you only have to and copy. You have blind copy here. To enable blind copy, you have to click it to enable it. But there's an additional tab. If I want to send from the mailbox of somebody, send as somebody, I can do that while I'm logging right in my own mailbox, right? But here now, I only have two. I can't see option that will tell me to select the email address I want to send message from. So to do that, you need to go to options, right? Under option, you see that there's a checkbox next to BCC, there's a checkbox next to CC. There's this from here, it's currently not enabled. I'll just enable it. And the moment I enable it, now I have the tab here. I have the tab here. And I can drop down to select. Once I drop down, this is the default user that is currently logging. Now I want to send a mail on behalf of pilot user 5. So I'm going to click other email address. And then I will type pilot. Let it give me options, then I'll select pilot user 5, right? Hopefully it has taken effect. Test, send on behalf.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So I'm going to put to let's say to Titi, so we can see it. To Titi. I'll click send. It has gone to draft, it has moved away from, and it has delivered. I will now go to Titi's mailbox, and this is the email. Now, can you see what we're talking about? This is pilot user 1. Is sending the email on behalf of pilot user 5. So that shows that you will be able to know when somebody is sending on behalf of another person. And this way, I can tell that pilot user 1 have the permission of pilot user 5 to send email on his behalf. So that's, I think time has gone so that we can wrap it up. Rafiah, just give me like 2 minutes. Let me quickly show them the last thing
Okay,
because we talk about it. I should show them, or I will show them rather.
yes, ma'am.
So the final thing
Okay,
I
ma'am.
want to show us here
Okay.
is under under Mayflow, the message trace. Now I'm going to message trace. Let's say pilot and Will Smith have reported that he wasn't able to receive some email that somebody either from outside or even internal user has been sending to him. So what we'll do is to come to Mayflow, come to message trace here, and then we can click start, start a trace. Or you select from this list here, a message sent from my primary domain. If I want to see all email that has been sent out from my users, whether internal, external, if I click this, it's going to show me all the email sent out. So these are quick trace that you can do. We've not done so many email, so let's try in the last 1 day. Let's see this. Now I've opened it up. You can further refine it. Send by who? Either by all recipients, or you can select specific recipient. Now, is summary we need, or is enhanced or extended report? Summary will give you very fast. These are the parameters that you have to set. We said the last 1 day is what it will give to us. Then delivery status, all is what we have picked, but you can pick the option whether it's to show you whether it's delivered, whether it's expanded. Expanded is when you send email to a distribution group. It will, while it is delivering it into each member's mailbox, it will expand that group to be able to see the member and send a copy of that email to each member's mailbox or inbox. Then you have whether it's failed email you want to see or whether it is quarantine. If we select all, it's going to bring all message and status. That's what it's going to bring out. Then we can, if we know the particular message that we are trying to trace, we can put the message ID. We know the message ID, we can put it here. And then if we know the client IP, you can put. But let's just click search here, just very quickly, and it should be able to tell us all the email that has gone out today. Okay, so here are all the emails, and you can see the status next to all these is that they have been delivered. So if there's anyone that have issue, you will see it. Look at this. I sent a mail to distribution list. That distribution list that we created, you saw that I said expanded. Expanded because it has to expand the group to identify the individual users and then send to the mailbox of those individual users. So this we have come to the end of today's or this week classes or session, and I thank you all for your patience. Because of time, I will just check if there are questions here. I will try and then respond to your questions. And then you can see it here. I also have my LinkedIn handle, so you can reach out to me directly as well. Thank you all very much. Rafiah, you have the floor.
Yes, a very big round of applause for you, Ma. Thank you so much for the detailed explanation, the demo, everything, your time, and yeah, really appreciate the class. Well taught, well delivered, over delivered. Thank you so much, Ma. Yeah. So for the questions, well, I'm supposed to share your LinkedIn handle in the chat. Please, Joseph, can you please open the chat? And so that Madam Titi can please share her LinkedIn handle. You can always reach out to her on LinkedIn. Titilope Bello is her LinkedIn profile name. We're going to share the link with you on the chat. She will share the link with you on the chat. And for the questions, I think you explained so well. I doubt if we even have any question in the chat. Let me check. I'm not sure we do as regards. We might have one or two. Okay.
Can we get free
So
domain? No.
yeah, you can't get a free
You cannot
domain.
get free domain.
Mhm.
You have to buy.
So yeah, so you guys will have to be patient, right? I understand it's 10 or some minutes past 10. We can't always keep to 10 p.m. So if you want to go, you're free to go, right? Yeah, you can leave. Those that can wait, you can stay back. I think the major thing has been shared, which is the attendance link. For the second link, I would also share it here. If you're interested, you can wait behind for that link. So someone said he has a question on distribution list, though I can't see that question. But if you have any question, please drop your questions on WhatsApp or on Telegram. Yeah, okay. I think a question here is saying distribution list is mainly for sending bulk emails. That's quite straightforward and more like a broadcast message. Good. So thank you so much, Ma. I think I need to share the second link now. The chat is turned off. Let me quickly see. Is Joseph here? Afeso or Oyimafu, can you please turn on the chat? Kosi, I think Kosi was raising up her hand. Differences between, okay, it's on. Okay, let me just take one question. It's on now. Okay, thank you. The question I have here says, can an admin set Exchange Server 2019? Oh, hold on. No. Can an admin set automatic response for a distribution list? Can an admin set automatic response? That should be the likes of out of office response. Is Madam Titi still here?
Yes, I'm here. So now, a distribution list, because it does not have a mailbox, the answer is no. You set response, auto response for user mailboxes, right? Just like we said, distribution group or distribution list is for the purpose of sharing information or distributing a single copy of email to multiple people. It's just for them to receive email, nothing more, right? So you can't set out of office for it.
Okay, another person is asking, is it possible to convert a group to another? For example, can we convert a distribution list to a Microsoft 365 group?
Yes, you can. You can. You can
Perfect. Yes, it
convert
can be
distribution
upgraded
list
to.
to Microsoft 365 group,
Mhm.
but you cannot go back. You can't move from Office Microsoft 365 group back to distribution. No, but you can go upward. You can upgrade upward.
Nice
So
one.
somebody said when checking message rate, it shows expanded for group messages because it's delivered. What will it show if it
If it
fails?
fails.
It failed. You see, failed starter is what you are going to see. The expanded is not because it's delivered really. The expanded is because there are multiple people and it's expanding it to send email to the different recipients within it. Assuming though there were many people there, but I don't even know whether the people I selected whether they even have a mailbox. I just picked them, but I believe they should. So if they have logged in, because this user that the first user have logged in and have seen the email, so I guess, but if it fails, you will see failed status. So someone said, how can one add a team to a group so that one can easily open it or and join a meeting? So if you have created, you see the way we went to the properties of the Microsoft 365 group when we created it. If at the time you were creating it, you did not select group teams for it, it will create it without a team. But if you now change your mind later to configure that group or to enable teams for the group, all you need to do is to go back to the group. If we go back to the group here, I'm sharing my screen back. If we go back to the groups, we can go from Exchange Online here. Quick. Let me see which one is faster. Still loading. So if you go back to the group and you go to the properties of the group, you will see the option to enable teams for the group. So for instance, this guy does not have teams enabled. Anyone that have teams, you will see teams against it. So this guy does this, and the first one currently does not have teams enabled. If I go into it, then I will be able to enable. If I go to settings, then I can be able to enable teams for this particular group. Wait, okay, yes, sorry. So it does not have group currently. I don't know why it's grayed out. I think I ran some command on this guy. So you'll be able to create group teams. This is the button here. You'll be able to create teams for it, and it will automatically have teams. There are several features in your admin center that I did not see in my own. For instance, I noticed that I did not see the option to add resources. I also noticed other differences. Is it because I have a restricted role stroke license? I don't think your license is restricted, but it might be the rule. So remember that Rafiah said you do not have, I don't know, they are going to give you access to Exchange Online rule or Exchange Management or Exchange Admin rule. So by the time you have that rule, you should be able to see some other additional features that you are looking for. So how do we now select the actual mail, because the instructor did not select the actual message to be sent? What do you mean by that? You mean when we are sending message from the order, the message to be sent? I did now. I showed. Okay, so let's do this other one again. Where's that one? The other one I sent on behalf of, and I was able to type my message and select the address, the from, the who is the mail coming from. So, but if I want to just quickly show you, this is need William Abi Will Smith. Okay, this Will Smith now. Will Smith has been given access to send as this says him. So I will go back into his own mailbox. I can go to new. That's new message, and then I'll go to option again and click show from. If I click show from, I want to drop down and select from. Then I'll select says. It has access to send as system. I will select system, and then I will type who I want to send the email to. Let's just use TT test send as. And we click send, right? So it's TT. I've sent from Will Smith as says right from Will Smith mailbox. You see, this is sent on behalf of from pilot user 1, send on behalf of pilot user 5. Now, this email, you would think is sales team mailbox that sent it directly. But meanwhile, it is Will Smith that actually sent us the sales team. So I hope I've answered your question. I don't know what you were really referring to. Okay, so we want to launch your domain. Is Cloudflare automatically integrated into Microsoft 365? Microsoft 365 can help you go and add the domain. It will ask you to put in your username and password to go there and confirm. But you can also do it manually by yourself. But integrated, like you can, I don't know what you meant, but there's a kind of handshake, right? There's a kind of handshake between the two. And I think we should take this as the last question for today.
Yes, ma.
My
Thank
question
you so
has
very
not
much,
been
ma.
attended to since. Oh, sorry. What is your question?
Mm.
I'm sorry.
That is
Is it
Isaac,
that my
right?
network is not? Yes, that's Isaac.
Delivering.
It's not delivering message. Let me scroll up. Where is Isaac? Okay. Can
Isaac,
matrix
please
be
reach
used?
out to. Okay, okay, okay. You've seen his question.
Um,
I actually
yes,
thought.
I've seen it. Can
Oh,
matrix
okay,
be
that's
used
fine.
for checking incoming mails that fail? Uh, so now incoming mail, if the you will see mail, you will see mail from outside. Let me quickly do sugar. Let me quickly do an email from here to tt at 8 8 test me mail incoming. Okay, so I've sent an email from an external recipient, right? I've sent an email to TT. I'll just wait for it to come. But now, if somebody is telling you they are not receiving email, if the email never hits your own Microsoft 365 server, you will not see it in message trace. You will not see it in message trace. But let's say this is the email now. This is coming from outside of this tenant. If I go to message trace, I'll be able to see the email. If I go back to message trace and I select start a trace, so I can use custom, not all sender. I can use sender. Okay, let's say all sender. For recipient, I can use TT at. Okay, hurry. We want to close. So I can any mail from anybody to TT is what I want to check for. Then I click search. Now you can see this is external email. This external email is trying to get status for this, whether I deliver or not. This is external email from outside. But if the mail never get delivered, or maybe it came in but it was categorized as spam or as junk, and the mail never get it. He was quarantined. You will see it here as quarantine as well. So that's the way it works. But if the mail never hit your server, you will not see any information for it. So you have to tell the user to inform the sender to resend that the mail is not getting to you. So that's it. So thank you, everyone. I think we'll bring the session to a close here. I've dropped the link for the license. Did I? Yes, I've dropped the link for the license comparison, and you can see it there. And also my LinkedIn. I think a lot of you have been connecting as well, but let me just drop it here. My LinkedIn is Titilope. Just search for Titilope Bello. Just copy it.
Yeah, I've shared the link already to your LinkedIn
Oh, okay.
profile.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Thank you. So
Thank
thank
you
you all
so
very
much,
much
ma'am.
for your patience and for your time. Thank you.
Really, yeah, you're welcome. Really appreciate your time, ma. Yeah, so Kosi did ask a question. Kosi asked if we can recall a mail, though Madam Titi, I don't think she's still here. Yes, you can recall. Okay. Yeah, you can recall a mail. Yes, you can recall a mail. But there's a condition, except if that recipient has not opened the mail. So that's the answer to that question. So now, thank you all so much for your patience. Thank you for staying behind. I think we've had the attendance link shared. Those that have been waiting for the fully discounted Microsoft certification link, I've shared that link. I'll drop it again. Please take note, the link would only be open to responses from from 11 p.m. The link or the form would be open to responses from 11 p.m. So even if you try to fill it now, it will not open. So you have to wait till 11 p.m. And like I said, it's for underprivileged, like people that cannot afford people that cannot afford to pay, right? Please, is it possible to help a user to manually move mails? Please send your questions on. Your questions should go to the WhatsApp or the Telegram group or to Madam Titi directly on her LinkedIn. So this is why you should connect with your mentors on LinkedIn. This is why you should reach out to them. Have a one-on-one. We can't take all the questions right here on the call, right? So please connect with Madam Titi Bello. Check her up now or later on LinkedIn. Titilope Bello is her name, her LinkedIn name. Yeah, you see her there. The link to her LinkedIn profile is also shared. Majority are underprivileged. Yes, we know majority are underprivileged, but even at that, would everybody be serious enough to prepare for the exam? Right? Would you read? Would you prepare? Would you even go for the exam? There are some people that have access to free vouchers, they don't go for the exams. So we want you to know that this exam is coming through the founder, right? And it would not make sense that we lose this kind of opportunities. We get to give you the certification and you don't go for the exams. So another thing is this: those that don't have LinkedIn profile, please create one. Be active on your LinkedIn. Post content like related to what you've learned so far, right? Yeah, so make some noise on LinkedIn because this voucher is coming from your sponsors. We want to see that yes, they are that you've really learned. And I don't know, just go to LinkedIn, connect with your mentors, tag your friends, tag your mentors, tag the program Nigeria M365 community. Let us know yeah, we're impacting, right? Your feedback is very, very important. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Although all the recordings you've been watching, you can't see the link on WhatsApp. What link can't you see? Is it the link to the certification or the link for the attendance? Please specify. So there are two links on the chat, the attendance link and the certification link. Not everybody will write the exams, right? Those that want to write. Okay, the link for the voucher. This is the link for the voucher. It's only open to responses from 11 p.m. Yeah, the class recordings will be made available. So please, the class has ended though. I hope the recording has ended. Let me stop the recording. Oh, stop recording. Yeah. So the class has actually ended. What we're just doing now is just a wrap up, right?